Hey guys, it's Alvi from Luminescence Heart Centered Healing. This is the reveal of my Twin Flame Picker card, how I feel about you now, that I posted earlier today or tomorrow whenever you see this. If you didn't see it, it's on Facebook, so if you're seeing this on YouTube, you'll have to see it on Facebook. No, you don't really need to. What I'm saying is, like, you can choose 1, 2 or 3. I have 3 sets of cards here. I've got Labradorite and I've got Sodalite and Rainbow Aura Quartz, which is very pretty. And so Labradorite's number 1, Sodalite's number 2, and Rainbow Aura Quartz is number 3. So what we'll do is I'll just turn the music down a little bit so that it's not too loud on the video. Now, I'm going to go with number 1 first, obviously. So, people who chose Labradorite, this is your guidance. You can also choose to, like, mix and match if that works for you too. If you hear other things, or if you want to watch the whole thing and take it as one reading. Okay. So, I'm going to turn all the cards over at once, I think, for this one. We'll just get these out the way. Could have thought this through a little better, but anyway, that's what I'm like. So for number 1, where is it? Labradorite. Here we go. We've got the Mother, 33. Giving and receiving, choose your battles and creative expression. That's interesting. There's a crystal under there, underneath the tablecloth. Ah, there it is. Got it. Little crystal. Clear quartz. Pointer. Alright, so. Let me see. Sorry, I'm getting the incense dust off. Okay, so they see you as a motherly figure. They see you as someone who's very abundant, very caring, very nurturing. It doesn't matter whether you're male or female, like we can all have that energy within us of, caring about people and nurturing people, looking after people, mothering people, I guess. Let's have a look what else we've got. Giving and receiving, so that means that they sort of feel like they want to give and receive equally, or they might just see you as a very giving person, being that we've got this energy of the mother here. They see you as a very giving person. Choose your battles. This one talks about finding, conserving your energy. And this one talks about creative expression. So, I'm just feeling into the energy while I go quiet. What I'm thinking here is, I keep getting drawn to this. If you weren't afraid, what would you do? Alright, so I'm feeling that they think that there's something that's kind of holding you back, that you're afraid of, that's worrying you, or they feel worried about you in a way, like they're afraid to approach you perhaps. They're not quite sure how to approach you. They're wanting to make sure that they, like, when they come to talk to you, when they come to connect with you, that they aren't picking the wrong time or picking the wrong words. I feel like they're kind of like really deliberating around how they want to make this offer to you, because this is kind of like saying to me that there's an offer. I think they see you as a very creative person, or they see that the creative expression that you put into things, like you as who you are, your essence. the messages. Are there any other messages? I'm going to sit here and I'm going to rub this Labrador eye to see if I can get any. I keep getting drawn to the number 33. 33 is like a master number or an angel number. If you can see on this card, the mother. Alright. Okay, so she's got a lot of people around her on that card, so I feel like they think that you're surrounded by your family or supported. You have a support network. They see you sort of as a queenly, motherly figure, or someone who's the head of a family, or a big group of friends. You have a big group of friends. They might even want you to be the mother of their children, if that's if that's appropriate for you. What am I getting here? Giving and receiving. This card is all about reciprocity, but it can also mean like something that's a surprise, something given as a surprise, or a windfall, or money coming in that you weren't expecting. People just being generous. It's generosity. I'm really getting here that your person wants to be generous with you because they see you as this mother figure. Like, they see you as a very important figure. If you notice in this card, she's the only one who's got any bright colours on her. She's surrounded by flowers. She's holding a bowl full of stuff, full of fruit, and she's very abundant. And the other people behind are very, they sort of fade into the background. So obviously you're very important to them. They feel like you're very important to them, and they want to offer you the same sort of generosity that you offer to everybody, in this energy of mothering, of looking after everybody, of supporting everybody. But I'm getting the feeling they just don't know how. They're working on it at the moment. They're trying to work it out. They're kind of they're choosing the battle, I guess. They're choosing how, or when, or what, the right words, the right way, waiting till the energy feels right. Just working it out, or waiting until they feel like the time is right. Again, this is sort of like the same energy here. They're seeing you as a very stand alone, if you know what I mean. Not that you are alone, but they see you as much more magical than the other people around you. You stand out to them. You are sort of, in this card I'm getting the word magic coming up, like creative expression, but you can see all the butterflies flying around behind her, and she's kind of just sitting there contemplating things. It could also mean that they're coming up with a creative way. They're contemplating a creative way of bringing you a generous offer. But I also feel like they're a little bit afraid of doing it, and they're trying to find the courage right now to come forward and give you this offer of whatever that might be. I'm going to pull some clarification cards and just click off this advert. Oop, and there goes one right now. Okay, so we'll just let that one fall and we'll see if it ties in with the reading. Oh my god, clumsy hands today. So what is this offer all about? That's what we want some clarification on. This offer is all about. What is this offer all about? Oh, there we go. Here comes some more. Alright, let's have a look. Okay. So I guess what the cards are saying here, what I'm feeling here is like, you might think that they have many choices, but they are actually choosing you because you stand out to them. You know, it's obvious in these cards here, the pictures in these cards, the messages and the energy. There's only one woman in these cards, and in this card there's other people, but they sort of fade into the background, which tells me that you're important to them, not the people around you and not the people around them. So you may be feeling like they have lots of choices, but really there's one choice in front of them, and that is you. With the moon in reverse, we're seeing that when the moon is the right way up, it can represent, like, it represents things unseen, things you don't know. So I think that something that you didn't know will come to light, and it will make sense of things. And there's some spontaneity coming in. So this offer is all about letting you know that it's not that, you know, that you are the one, kind of thing. That's what I'm getting from this. It's like, you're my choice. I've made my choice. They're ready to jump into the full. Let's have a look. I feel like I want to do a little bit more. I think there's a bit more coming in. So, there we go. And then we have the Ten of Cups. Okay, so this is probably the best outcome card I've had jump out at me like that. And the Ten of Cups is basically, you know, happy families, happy marriage. Your cups are full. You're full of love. There's lots of things going on, and, you know, everything's hunky-dory. So this is a really good reading. I will go on to the next one. I think. Put those back in there. Guess I'm going to do some more clarifications. Right, so set number 2, Sodalite. The first card we have, First Circle. Second, Joy and Stability. Wow, there's lots of circles in this one. Rings. Helpless and hopeless. Laughter. And boundaries. See, for you guys, funny how I chose Sodalite, which is a blue stone. Obviously it's blue, if you can see that. But blue kind of represents the throat chakra. And there's like a majority of kind of like bluish coloured cards in this spread as well. So I think this is about speaking your mind, perhaps. First Circle, what do you think? What does this mean? I feel like they long for joy and stability with you. I feel like they are a little bit confused about things. That's what I'm getting here. This is the card that's jumping out at me the most right now is this one here. So helpless and hopeless. That is the Eight of Swords. The Swords cards are all about your thoughts, your ego, you know, like your human thinking mind and the things that we come up with to kind of like distract ourselves or protect ourselves from supposedly getting hurt, when often the case is just that, you know, you have an inner child or ego wound that needs to be healed for you to be able to actually see the light. If you can see it in this card, there's 2 paths and he's not sure which one, but he knows where he wants to go. He wants to go up here, right? So he's confused about how to get to you. He's confused about how to, or they, I'm saying he because he's on the card, but it could be anyone. So they are confused. That's what I'm getting. They're confused. They know where they want to go, but they're not quite sure how to get there. They're thinking, you know, I could go straight across the sand and right towards there, but what's in the sand, Um, first circle and joy and stability. I'm just trying to get a little message from that. It's the first circle. It feels really primal, this first circle. It feels really like from the beginning of time. That's what I kind of feel when I look at it. Like, they feel like they've known you since the beginning of time. And this, to me, it feels like an awakening. Have a look at that. Like, that's what it feels like when you have a spiritual awakening and you're just like, phew, your consciousness just explodes into light, kind of thing. And that's actually the Four of Wands, which is a very good card as far as relationships are concerned. So it's like a stable family, stable home, marriage, that kind of thing. I feel like maybe this is someone that you were married to, someone that you had a stable home with, someone that you feel very drawn to, very much like a soulmate. But there's some sort of separation going on here. There's some sort of confusion about it. And they are the ones that are confused. They feel like it's forever. If you can see that, it's an 8, which I always think is sort of, infinity. I think they also think you're very funny. I think they feel like you're really funny, but they're kind of lost as to how to approach you. The boundaries card coming up here is kind of saying maybe like you blocked them, or maybe there was some kind of issue, maybe they upset you. Perhaps actually when I'm looking at this now, I'm thinking that they feel like they offended you in some way, and now they don't know how to get past your boundaries. Now you put up this big boundary, whether it be blocked or just kind of, ghosted them or whatever you did, which is unusual for a twin flame reading, but sometimes it goes the other way around. Most of the time we have the people who are watching are the ones who got blocked or ghosted, but sometimes we have situations where we just don't know what to do, or somebody really does feel like they are kind of, stalking you or whatever. It goes both ways, right? So I feel like in a way they love your sense of humour, but I also feel like they kind of might have offended you like by making a joke or something, and you put up some boundaries because you thought that's not cool, I'm not taking that kind of stuff or whatever. And now they're confused and they don't know what to do. They don't know which path to take or how to approach you, but they want to approach you because they feel that connection with you. Now I'm going to pull some clarification cards. I'm just making sure all the cards are the same way up in the deck, because sometimes I'll just plop them on top of each other and end up with cards up one way and then cards up the other way. So okay, so clarification. There we go. I think we're going to get some clarification on first circle first. Okay, so first circle, what does that mean? See, there's one I haven't turned over. And another one. Okay, first circle and joy and stability. I could blame my children, but I'm not going to. I'm going to blame me. Okay, so joy and stability and first circle. Look, that one just jumped out. So the Five of Staffs. This is trouble. Yeah, this is a fight. Like, I feel like everything seemed cool and then there was some sort of trouble, because the Five of Staffs, or Five of Wands, I'm trying to say swords, but it's not right. So the Five of Swords might be coming into play here, but the Five of Wands is often like you have to kind of push back on what's going on because it's trouble, there's fighting, there's people, competition maybe, or people trying to sort of encroach on your space or something like that. So maybe this is the first love. maybe this was a first experience of something like a twin flame experience, or soul connection, or false twin, or whatever you want to call it. I call it a catalyst twin, because most of the time if they are giving you that vibe, there's a reason for it. It's not just to torture you, but it's actually to spark your awakening. And we have this card here, so this could actually be talking about someone who caused a catalyst experience for you, and now they might regret some of the actions that they did that maybe caused trouble between you and caused you to block them. Maybe they weren't aware at the time of what the consequences of their actions, or perhaps they just weren't aware of like what the connection meant to you. I feel like they regret it, because obviously they're kind of like in this little lost, this land of the lost now. They don't know quite what to do or how to get back to you. So let's have a look a bit more. Just can I get a couple more cards on this helpless and hopeless? Helpless and hopeless. What have we got coming up? Yeah, I feel like they embarrassed you. They did something that embarrassed you, so you had to put up some boundaries. Or perhaps they're embarrassed to actually, try and get closer to you. Maybe they feel embarrassed about what they did, even if you don't realize that they are, or something. Regretful. That's what I'm getting, is this feeling of, I wish I hadn't done that. I kind of don't know what to do now. Alright, so let's get a look at this helpless and hopeless. Alright, it's just kind of come up to me as well. As I glanced over here, I saw, where do you need to establish better boundaries on this boundary card? And that kind of, with the message, is kind of saying, like, when I look at the face of the lady on this card, she doesn't look like she's laughing. She looks embarrassed. She looks mortified. She looks like humiliated in a way. Like, she's just kind of, I can't even, kind of thing. I'm going to keep pulling cards. There was definitely some kind of crossing of boundaries that happened, whether it was with you or with them. I mean, it's easy for me to say it was them that did it, but it might have been the other way around. Yeah, my guides are saying, sometimes when you've got this soul connection with someone and you can feel them, you can empath them, it's easy to sort of like push across those boundaries and get too far into what they're doing. And that feels creepy. Like, I don't know if any of you guys have ever had that happen to you, but I've had that happen to me from people who I didn't really want in my energy space, and it feels really like you're being creeped out, so it could be an energetic thing as well, I guess, is what I'm saying. So these two cards have come up while I'm talking. So helpless and hopeless. The Hierophant. Of like the priest, the keeper of knowledge. But it also can represent marriage, and like I said, I'm getting this vibe that this was a stable relationship, or a relationship or marriage of some kind to begin with, and now it's kind of come apart. And okay, so it's come apart, and every attempt to try and come back together somehow ends in this embarrassed feeling, in this, like, they feel like they're trying but it's not really working. The Ten of Pentacles. Alright. So this is the end of the cycle of this going on between you. I feel like when it's the end of a cycle, you can either choose with a, it depends, it has to be both partners, but you can choose to continue on and go to the next level, or you can choose to break off and go to a different, experience. So I guess it's really up to you and how they made you feel, or how you made them feel, or if this kind of like awkward guiltiness, if you can see the look on my face, I can actually feel what it feels like. It's yeah, it's not a very nice feeling. So I feel like, the Page of Cups, I feel like this is the end of a cycle, or the end of something between you. So we've got the Page of Cups, the Magician, and the King of Cups upside down. So what have we got? So the Page of Cups is, I think they were kind of immature. They were emotionally immature, and they didn't really realize what was going on, or maybe they still are, and sometimes they act in an emotionally immature way, which creates this kind of icky, embarrassed feeling, whether it's embarrassing you or it embarrasses them, and they kind of like don't realize at the time, but then afterwards they're like, oh my god, that was mortifying. And it's created like a block. It's created a block in the connection, and the connection just isn't flowing the way it should. Yeah, so as I'm saying, I think this is like it's they feel like there has to be a choice now. It's them or move on, okay? That's what I feel like they're feeling. They're feeling like, I could be the king, I could be your King of Cups, but you keep rejecting me, or things keep happening that keep kind of putting things back and making things not work. We do have the Magician here though, so there is like, I feel like that means that there's kind of an opportunity to heal, to grow, and to like go into the next level with this relationship if that's what you want, but you have to be prepared to do, you know, the shadow work and the healing, and all that sort of stuff. Any other messages? No, that's it for those ones. Okay, I think. And now we'll put these ones over here and these here, and we'll do the Rainbow Aura Quartz, which is number 3, and I have to just put that in the screen because it's cool. I love that Rainbow Aura Quartz so much. Okay, so now we've got another circle. Third circle, which is funny because it's for number 3. The third choice, that looks like a passageway to me. It looks like a tunnel. It looks like a journey, maybe. Moving, traveling. The next card we have is Healing Begins. Then we have Nurture. Then we have Inner Power. And then we have Awakening, an energetic upgrade. Or a new way of being, integration. Okay, so as soon as I said integration, I got the word union popped up in my head, like the union of two people in the physical. I'm not the kind of person that, like, you know, goes around going, oh, you're going to be in union in 5 minutes in this portal, or, you know, on 11/11 or whatever. Because I know for a fact that we're all in different stages of healing and different stages of coming together. So it's not really fair to be saying that, but there is a possibility. Okay, so with readings, with any sort of psychic advice, it's all a possibility. It's not written in stone. We give guidance, not gospel. That's what I like to say anyway. So you know, if you're in that right stage, that's cool, but I don't want to lead anyone on and give them the wrong idea. Anyway, that's enough out of me and my philosophies. So third circle really looks, to me, it feels to me like a journey. It feels like a zigzag. It feels like the path, you know, like walking the path. Healing begins. Okay, so I think there's been, in their world, something that's thrown them back onto the path that they should be walking, with you, you know, with on that soul path, on that journey to connect with their soul partner. I feel like it's at the beginning though, obviously, because healing begins, but that's where it starts, right? Is one person is usually more aware and doing the work, and when they do the work, it initiates an awakening, or more awakenings, because you can have more than one. You don't just awaken, you keep awakening and you keep expanding. So every time you heal, your soul partner heals. Every time you have an expansion or an awareness or an insight or something like that, the same thing happens for them. Not necessarily around the same, you know, situations or subjects, but it's all sort of like divinely orchestrated to get you to kind of both go go in the right direction. And if you have a look at this card, that's exactly kind of what it looks like. It's like, it's not a straight ahead path, it's a zigzag path, but it's a path that's leading to the same place. So I feel like they've come into the awareness, the awakening, the awareness that the awareness of what this connection truly is. You know, like they've hit that point where they see, wow, this is like something that's deep and been here for many, many, many eons and since the beginning of time. And this is the path I'm meant to walk, is with this person. I feel like they want to nurture the connection as well, and they're working on healing things, or they see you actually as a healer. They see your healing vibe. Like, you might not be an actual healer, but you probably exhibit a vibe of healing to them. So they might feel calm around you. They might feel like, you know, safe to be themselves, which is a very healing thing in itself, isn't it? If you don't feel like you've got to pretend to be someone else, and you can just be yourself, and they want to nurture that with you. I feel like they see your inner power. They see your magic. They understand that, and that brings on awakenings. I also think that they have recently, like I said, gone through some kind of energetic upgrade, some awakening. And that just keeps happening on this path. Like, you go more and more deeper. If you choose to, you can keep healing, you can keep going deeper and deeper into your soul. It doesn't have to be like a big heavy thing. It can be an amazing, enlightening, emancipating experience, and finding your own power through the connection with you. I'm going to pull a few clarification cards, but I actually feel like this one is pretty straightforward. But we'll pull some cards because I did for the other two, so why not? Alright, so let's have a look. Third circle. Actually, I'm getting told not to use this deck now, so I'm not sure which deck I'm going to use. What should you say? I'm going to get these ones out. The magical messages from the fairies. Alright, that sounds about right. There's a magical connection. So this one, they feel like, you know, they have a really magical connection with you. They see what it is. They want to work on it. They want to nurture it. They understand that there's an inner power that comes from the both of you being together, that creates awakenings, that creates expansion in there. my clairaudience just went, yeah, they're woke. And I don't use that word, so, you know, obviously it's not coming from me. I'm not like into that term. So vegetarian, okay, that's a bit weird. We might just put that one there. It might mean something to some of you. So I think like a new way of eating. It doesn't necessarily have to be vegetarian. We're all, you know, different bodies need different things. But I think perhaps that they are, oh, okay, they're sort of, and I feel like this is a very mirrored reading, is that you're both actually probably like embarking on a journey of preparing your body to, you know, be better, eating better, working out, looking after yourself, listening to the cues of your body. But I think that they see you as someone who's also very, I want to say green, but I don't mean like your color green. I mean like someone who's very earthy, someone who eats a lot of salad and likes plants and things like that. And I'm laughing because that's kind of, I think, something that, I don't know, people have said about me, I guess. And I'm not vegetarian, so far from it, in fact. But I do. I love like salads, and I love greenery, and I love to be out in the green, and I like to eat healthy and stuff like that. So I guess that's kind of the vibe I'm getting there, is that you both encourage each other to do good things for yourselves in your physical form, but also in your spiritual, you know, energy as well. Let's have a look. What else can we clarify here? I want to clarify the healing begins. I also feel like this healthy attitude is part of the path. So whether that means that you're vegetarian, or like you follow a particular type of diet, you know, like paleo, clean eating, stuff like that. And I think it's something that you both share. I think it's a passion that you both have. That's part of your path, is to sort of like model healthiness. Model a healthy attitude towards, you know, eating, bodies, food, stuff like that. Anyway, let's go on to healing begins. All right, let's have a card to clarify healing begins. There goes one. I saw that. Easy does it. Okay, so this one is easy does it. Stop trying so hard to control everything, and all the doors will open for you. This speaks of sometimes, especially on the twin flame path, and we're all guilty of it, so don't feel bad. It's easy to get caught up in this, I have to be with this person right now, because if I don't, I will miss out. If you're not with them and you're trying really hard, it's not going to happen. The universe will divert you. The universe will stop you. It has to happen in this particular way. And sometimes the things that they need to fix up, or they need to do, you know, like karmic tasks, or things, like old soul ties that they need to clear off, and things like that. And that you don't really want to be coming together with them until they've done that, because you don't want it to be interfering in the purity of the connection. It also talks about just surrender, you know, that favorite thing that everybody talks about in the spiritual community, surrender. Like, surrender the outcome. Just enjoy the journey. Have a look at the picture. These dolphins are having a great time. They don't care where they're going. They're surrounded by rainbows, and they're just having fun. Like, dolphins are well known for being very, very playful, and I think they're kind of saying, you know, bring that energy, bring that playful energy into everything you do. As dark as sometimes it feels, if you can do things like, you know, be playful and have a light energy, light heart about you, it doesn't seem as bad. It doesn't seem like you get stuck, and you don't get stuck if you can let that stuff flow. I'm thinking that there's a message coming through, but I'm not actually getting a translation for it, so I'm just going to do another one. Alright, we'll pull one more card. I think just for the last three, we'll see how that goes. Okay, so can we get one more clarification card for this lot of guidance. Oops, 2. Alright. Well, I can't argue with that, can I? More green cards. Okay. Wow, it's basically just giving you a... So the first one we have is ask for what you want. Let the universe and other people know what you need. This is something, and I was speaking about this the other day, I think, something that many people who are empaths and clairsentient and energy sensitive forget, and it causes a lot of trouble, is that we forget that other people can't read us as well as we can read them. So you have to ask. Like, you have to actually use your voice. You have to let the universe know. You have to tell people what you want. And it can be really hard because you can feel really frustrated that people aren't actually picking up on what you're wanting. But everybody's like in their own, they're on their own journey. They're focused on their own stuff. So not everybody can be as sensitive to it or sensitive to it all the time. We don't always sometimes people miss the cues, so don't get upset if things don't work the way that you think they're going to work. Sometimes you just have to explain yourself more and let people know. And the next one is let go. So look, I think this is something as you surrender the need to control, your relaxed energy rapidly attracts your desires. The more that you're tense, the more that you're like freaking out about stuff, the more contracted your energy is, and nothing comes to a contracted energy. So again, with this light, playful energy, as much as you can, and it's okay if you're going through a shitty time and you're depressed or whatever, but although I don't know that the people on this reading might be down that deep, but it's just saying let go. It's saying don't hold on so hard. This is divinely guided, and it's meant to be. And if it's meant to be, then you don't have to force it. It just happens, right? All you need to do is walk the path, listen to your guidance, and do the things, right? Which is harder than it sounds sometimes. I know, trust me, I'm stubborn as hell, and sometimes the universe has to kick my ass just to get me to do what I want, what I'm meant to be doing. So I think that's probably about it for this reading as well. Let me just see. I love my favourite messenger. Okay, so they want you to ask them. They want you to tell them what you want. They need you to communicate. That's what I'm getting. This is how they feel about you. So they feel like they are on the same path as you. They feel like you are a very healing person. They want to nurture the connection with you because they see the inner power and the magic that it brings when you guys are together or when you connect in 5D. There's a message about, having that healthy eating and healthy attitude, because when you eat the right things for your body, when you do the right things for your body, it helps with your energy. So if you're stuck, if you're feeling stuck and you're feeling kind of like controlly, like you need to try and push, maybe do some exercise. And also they want you to ask for what they want, and they want you to try and relax. Like they see that you're kind of struggling with it a little bit. They can kind of feel that vibe, people can feel the vibe. And someone who, as I said, is as woke as the person we're talking about here, definitely feels like when you feel awkward, they feel awkward. They feel your awkwardness. So just try and relax and try and, follow the path wherever it takes you, because it's going to take you to the same place eventually. You will meet up and crisscross all the way up there. Okay, so that is the last one. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, I think that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the reading. I hope you got something out of it. If you did, you know, feel free to leave a comment. I do personal readings. You'll have to find me on Facebook for that one. That's how I do my readings. That's where I pretty much come, like a website at the moment. I do healing as well. If you need help with your twin flame journey, I do that too. Anything else? No, I think that's it. So hopefully this has been good for you, and I'll see you next time.